Hey guys, Drutter here, September the 19th. This is my Burning Man trip video. Quick disclaimer, anyone whose identity is clear from the video or photos here was asked before I took the picture or video of them. It's just a bit of a rule that they have at Burning Man and something that I agree with. So what is Burning Man, quickly before I get started about the trip? That's a good question. Burning Man started about 25 years ago in San Francisco. They started burning sort of a statue of a man, a wooden statue of a man on the beach. And after a few years, it was like an annual event in the summertime, and it got kind of bigger and bigger. And then the authorities said, you can't really burn stuff on the beach here. So they moved it inland, and they went all the way as far as Nevada to a place on the playa. That's a terrain type, basically flat alkaline desert with no life at all, near Gerlach, a tiny city in the middle of nowhere, basically a ghost town. So once a year, about 40 to 50,000 people gather at a place called Black Rock City, which doesn't exist except for that 1 week, and a bit of setup time beforehand and a bit of takedown time after. So there's nothing there, and there's a few rules, very few. Stuff like leave no trace, which means everything that you go with, you bring back. All your garbage, all your compost and recycling, all your equipment, all your costume stuff, nothing is allowed to stay. There are no public garbage cans. There is nowhere for you to put water even. You can't even put water onto the dust. So you pack out all your gray water. That's like dishes water, and brushing your teeth water and all that kind of stuff. It has to be all collected, brought back. Another rule is the photography rule. As I mentioned, you don't take pictures of people, like clear, obvious pictures of people's faces and stuff, without asking them. There is really no governance there at Burning Man. There's Black Rock Rangers, but basically they're the good guys. They're just burners like you. They put on a tan shirt with a little emblem on it, and they go around making sure everyone's safe and having a good time. They're not law enforcement per se. They're just there to make sure everything is running smoothly. And as far as like management and organization from the top, it's very invisible. They take a very minimal role. They just collect the ticket money, organize for the porta potties and ice delivery once per day, and that's really all they do. Burning Man just is what the participants want it to be. So it's a little bit different every year, but it's definitely a little bit the same every year as well too, because there are some common themes of things that people are not getting from society, which they call the default world. And they need to get that somehow, and they get that at Burning Man. Yeah, another rule is that there's no buying and selling. Ice is the only thing you can actually buy with money there. There's no buying or selling, there's no trading even. It's just a gift economy, which means if you have something that someone else wants, you give it to them. You don't have to, of course, but it definitely is a very interesting way to live. And it's really interesting to go there and spend a week with no government. I don't even feel like I'm in the US when I'm at Burning Man. I feel like I'm in no man's land, and it's anarchy, but it's anarchy only with people who fit into that kind of a situation. And by that I mean people who are peaceful, people who are helpful, people who are accepting of others, big time. It's an incredible experience. It feels like going to another country, but there is no country on earth that is Black Rock City. It's 50,000 people that all of them could be your best friend. And every day when you go out and wander, or every night when you go out and wander, you have an experience or multiple experiences that you could never ever have anywhere else. Alright, the bikes are on, and we're off. After a lovely hour and a half wait at the border, we're almost there. Free commercials while filling up on gas. So good. Portland, Oregon. RV park in Grand Ronde, or nearby anyways, Oregon. And we just set up the gigantic tent for the two of us. And just gonna go have a shower and then get ready for bed. Hit the road again tomorrow. We got up this morning and headed on down to the coast. Now we're traveling south down the Oregon coast. And it's a pretty nice day. It's mostly sunny. Windy as always. Whoa! That's not warm at all! Oh god! No wonder there's nobody swimming today. Woohoo! Well, one more look at the coast before we head inland. We gotta get shopping. Hopefully there's somewhere in this country to buy things. I haven't seen any yet, but... The Americans have very interesting road signs. For example, this one reads rocks, and there's an arrow pointing downward. I did pull over and confirm that there were indeed rocks there. We've pulled inland now. We're driving through Oregon towards Klamath Falls, Oregon. Very American out here. Still on our way to Klamath Falls. Now we're in a very dry, stunted, deserty forest, and passing by large dormant volcanoes. Pretty interesting terrain now. Silver Lake, baby! Woo! 47 to Silver Lake. Pretty tempting, but a little bit too far off the path. Hey, look, they're even bottling water for babies now. And it says minerals added for taste. And minerals added are fluoride. We just finished at Wort, and we got 60 beers and far too much food, ice, pop, an $8 hula hoop, and a bunch of cheese and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it came to $193. I have no idea how, but it's just how it goes, I guess. I was expecting $350 or something ridiculous. Nope. Just about to cross over into California. And then we're going to try and find somewhere to get water, and then we're going to try and find somewhere to sleep, and then we're going to try and find somewhere to go to Burning Man. Yes! We passed through Tule Lake, filled it with water, and went a little further and then we turned off the road, and we're going down a side road off of a side road off of a side road. And it's pretty flat here. There are some mountains in the distance, or hills. Mostly it's just tumbleweeds. Hopefully we can get to this campground. Hopefully they have showers, and hopefully they have somewhere to recharge this battery. Otherwise it's going to be a short documentary of this trip. It's definitely an adventure though. Ooh, we got really lost, and then we started setting up our tent in the middle of the night, like 1:30 in the morning or something now. And it started to rain, and there's a lot of dark clouds. So we're worried about getting drenched. So we put everything back in the van, and we're gonna try and go to sleep in here with sleeping bags over us. It's not comfortable to sleep when you're sleeping upright in a crowded van that you've been sitting in for almost 24 hours. So we're gonna go driving now. Bye. Hey, look what we found for 60 bucks. Hey, they were open. Well, the camera battery's charged and we slept. We don't know what time it is. We woke up and it's raining out there. But we have to get to Burning Man. There's some amazing terrain out in Northern California. Some beautiful rock formations I'd love to have the time to explore someday. Okay, we're on the run from the fruit police. They asked us what we had and we said apples and bananas. We didn't tell them about the potatoes! Run! Run! Alright, next stop is Black Rock City. We just had some tasty Mexican food in Alturas. Filled up the bike tires and filled up the gas tank. We're just crossing over into Nevada, and the rain is ceasing. Blue sky ahead. There's the first of the playa there. Beautiful terrain. I wouldn't want to live here. But amazing, like hillsides and mountains and scrubland. I drove through Nevada on the 447, which was of course good for a laugh every mile or so. Looks like bat country. Here we are arriving at the playa. There's a double rainbow right there. And we don't see Black Rock yet. It must have been moved a little further down playa, so keep going. There it is. And we're picking up the radio station now. You can just see the city in the distance there. Looks like it's raining in the city right now. Crazy. Woo! As we pulled into Black Rock City, there was a double rainbow over the playa, which was quite rare because they don't get a lot of rain in that area. The art theme this year was Metropolis. A couple of years ago it was The American Dream. Last year was Evolution, and next year's is Rites of Passage. We're just listening to the radio and waiting in line. I think we've been here, how long?
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours now. Oh, good, the popo shut someone down. Making sure we're all behaving out here. Here it is. We're just inside the gates now. Well, actually just inside the third layer of gates. There was some greeters, and then there was the ticket takers, and these are the, I don't know what they are, but you ring the bell and in you go. So we're at 6 o'clock in K, and we're gonna go find our campsite now. Well, here we go. Camp Fuck the New World Order has just begun. We met our neighbors, the Dreamsicles. It's their first time. They seemed nice. And it's quite loud. The partying has begun. We're gonna set up the tent. Thanks for watching the first half. Please rate the video before moving on to part 2, where there's all kinds of interesting stuff awaiting you, including this guy. And no, that's not me.